Hello and a very good morning. You're watching Breakfast News on Rajasabha TV. I'm Tina Jha. Let's start with the headlines this morning. US President Barack Obama backs India's energy bid, calls for continued cooperation in field of non-proliferation. US-based firm to build 6 nuclear power plants in India. World Bank slashes global growth forecast to 2.4% this year, says advanced economies rebounding more slowly than expected. India's growth rate retained at 7.5%. Congress in trouble in Tripura now. 6 rebel MLAs quit party to join the TMC, say their decision is against the party joining hands with the left in West Bengal. Controversial film Uttar Punjab to be screened for Shyam Benegal today. Film producer targets censor board for raising objections. Rahul Gandhi, Arvind Kejriwal come out in support of the film. And final major primaries for the race to the White House. Hillary Clinton cements hold on Democratic nomination with win in New Jersey. Well, US President Barack Obama has backed India's bid for the nuclear suppliers group. After about an hour-long meeting with Prime Minister Narendra Modi at the White House, the two sides also issued a 50-point joint statement in which the US recognized India as a major defense partner.
A warm embrace by President Barack Obama as he welcomed Prime Minister Narendra Modi to the White House for talks. This is the 7th meeting between the two leaders since Prime Minister Modi came to power. Obama saying it was a great pleasure to welcome back his friend to the Oval Office. In a big boost to India's bid for the Nuclear Suppliers Group membership, President Obama came out in support of it.
We discussed, in addition, the progress that we've made around civil nuclear energy. And I indicated our support for India becoming part of the Nuclear Suppliers Group, the abilities for technologies that are critical to India's development and prosperity being available. And we also discussed in that same context our important work together around the non-proliferation of nuclear materials and technologies that could end up falling into the wrong hands.
The meeting between the two leaders also came in the backdrop of members of the Missile Technology Control Regime or MTCR agreeing to admit India into the key anti-proliferation grouping. Admission into the MTCR would open the way for India to buy high-end missile technology.
MTCR हो, न्यूक्लियर सप्लायर ग्रुप हो, इन सब में हमारे मित्र ओबामा ने मुझे जो मदद की है, हमेशा हमारा समर्थन किया है, इसके लिए भी मैं हमेशा उनका आभारी रहूंगा.
Following the hour-long meeting, the two sides also issued a 50-point joint statement in which the US recognized India as a major defense partner. This means that for defense-related trade and technology transfer, India would now be treated on par with America's closest allies. Bureau Report, Rajasabha TV.
And the United States has also agreed to set up 6 nuclear power plants reactors in India. An agreement to begin work has been reached between Nuclear Power Corporation of India and US firm Westinghouse. Besides this, the two sides have also agreed to set up 2 financial assistance programs worth $60 billion for India's clean energy initiatives.
US President Barack Obama has credited India's leadership for the historic climate change agreement.
In Paris, the joining of forces between India and the United States helped forge a historic agreement that can effectively deal with climate change, and we discussed how we can, as quickly as possible, bring the Paris Agreement into force, how we can make sure that the climate financing that's necessary for India to be able to embark on the bold vision for solar energy and clean energy that Prime Minister Modi has laid out can be accomplished.
The two sides committed themselves to join the Paris climate change deal this year, which they say would provide a significant global momentum towards implementation of the agreement. The two sides reiterated their commitment to pursue low greenhouse gas emission development strategies in the pre-2020 period and to develop long-term low greenhouse gas emission development strategies.
न्यूक्लियर सिक्योरिटी का मामला हो, चाहे ग्लोबल वार्मिंग की चिंता हो, चाहे टेररिज्म की चिंता हो, चाहे पेरिस एग्रीमेंट में इनिशिएटिव लेने की बात हो, हमने कंधे से कंधा मिला करके काम किया है और आज मैं गर्व से कह सकता हूं कि हम दो मित्र के रूप में भी और दो देश के भी रूप में इस लीगेसी के लिए गर्व करते हैं और इस लीगेसी को आगे बढ़ाने के लिए कंधे से कंधा मिला करके हम काम करते रहेंगे.
Besides this, the two sides announced the setting up of two financial assistance programs worth $60 million for supporting India's much-needed clean energy initiatives, including in solar power and other renewables.
I believe that what Prime Minister Modi has said about this is that India shares the objective that the United States has laid out, which is to see the agreement come into force this year. And India has committed to doing their part, to working toward the goal, a shared goal, of entering the agreement this year.
The Nuclear Power Corporation of India and US firm Westinghouse have also agreed to begin engineering and site design work immediately for 6 nuclear power plant reactors in India. They have decided to contractual arrangements by June 2017. Once completed, the project would be among the largest of its kind. The aim is to demonstrate a shared commitment to meet India's growing energy needs while reducing reliance on fossil fuels. Bureau Report, Rajasabha TV.
And Prime Minister Modi also addressed the American business community at the annual gala of the US-India Business Council, or the USIBC. He said that the world needs a new engine of growth and that India is poised to contribute as the new engine. He asserted that a larger Indian economy has multiple benefits for the world. Modi also said that there is a lot for India to learn from the American experience, particularly its entrepreneurship, technological advancement, and products which range from drugs to drones.
We have taken a comprehensive package of reforms which go beyond more economic reforms. I can classify them into 4 types. First, macroeconomic policies to create a strong foundation. Second, policies to stimulate growth and employment through investment and trade and to increase efficiency and productivity.
Moving on, the World Bank has warned a vulnerable global economy ahead due to sharp slowdown in emerging markets as advanced economies struggle to grow. The global economy is expected to grow at 2.4% this year, down from its January forecast of 2.9%. It estimates that the world economy expanded by 2.4% last year as well. The World Bank sharply cut its global growth forecast, citing the effects of low commodity prices in emerging markets, aging populations, and weak business investment in advanced economies such as the United States. World Bank Group President Jim Yong Kim said, and I quote, "This sluggish growth underscores why it is critically important for countries to pursue policies that will boost economic growth and improve the lives of those living in extreme poverty," unquote. Bank officials are calling for increased investment in infrastructure, productivity-enhancing technology, also human capital. The downward revision to emerging markets and developing economies is due to high dependency on oil exports and other commodities whose prices have plummeted recently. And back home, the RBI opted to keep interest rates intact in the second bi-monthly review of monetary policy on Tuesday. The central bank chose to gauge inflationary pressures and also maintained a hawkish position. However, the central bank also affirmed its commitment to maintain an accommodative stance.
A status quo on interest rates means that loan EMIs are unlikely to fall anytime soon. RBI Governor Raghuram Rajan kept the repo rate, or the rate at which the central bank lends money to the banks, unchanged at 6.5% and the reserve repo rate at 6%. The RBI also kept the cash reserve ratio, the proportion of deposits banks have to keep aside with the RBI, also unchanged at 4%. Rajan cited several uncertainties regarding price trends, including a rebound in oil prices and the implementation of the 7th Pay Commission, but exuded confidence that an above-normal monsoon could contain inflation.
We would watch macroeconomic and financial developments in the months ahead with a view to responding as space opens up. Now, incoming data since then show a sharper than anticipated upsurge in inflationary pressures emanating from a number of food items, as well as a rise in commodity prices.
Analysts feel that the monetary policy announcement was on expected lines. Spurt in consumer price inflation in April to 5.39% from 4.83% in March prodded the RBI to maintain status quo. Even wholesale price inflation turned positive after a gap of 17 months, rising 0.34% year-on-year in April against minus 0.85% in March.
Its first priority is to maintain that inflation, though it has been under control. But the economy, if there is a good check in inflation, it will definitely send a good incentive for people to deposit money in the bank.
RBI also expressed concern on the continuing weakness in private investment. Indian economy grew at a stellar 7.9% in the last quarter of 2015-16. However, the worrisome part of the economy was that gross fixed capital formation, a proxy for investment, contracted 1.9% in the fourth quarter of 2015-16. Corporate India feels that higher interest rates are leading to lower investments by corporate companies.
There could be a shortage of liquidity in the market, and then the industry will come under pressure again. New investment is already not coming in the market, and even the existing industry may suffer.
RBI has pegged economic growth at 7.6% and retail inflation target at 5% for January 2017. The central bank maintained that the government's reform measures on small saving rates, combined with the RBI's refinements in the liquidity management framework, would help the transmission of past policy rate reductions into lending rates of banks. The Reserve Bank of India has cut key policy rates by 1.5 percentage points since January 2015, but home loan borrowers have got only around one-third of the benefit from commercial banks. Kriti Mishra, Rajasabha TV.
And shifting focus now to the upcoming Rajasabha elections. Biennial elections for the Rajasabha are otherwise a routine electoral affair. But the 11th June biennial elections for 57 seats in 16 states have thrown up some most interesting scenarios. Independents and smaller parties are in great demand as the national parties eye the Rajasabha seats. A sting operation in Karnataka, where 5 candidates are in the fray for 4 seats, showed MLAs negotiating cash and other incentives in lieu of votes. Karnataka Chief Electoral Officer has sent his report to the Election Commission on sting operations by private news channels. A final decision is expected by the end of this week when the full commission meets. Worried over the possibility of cross-voting in the June 11 Rajya Sabha elections, major political parties are now walking the extra mile to keep their flock together for victory of extra candidates. With barely 3 days left for the contest, forced by the presence of 2 extra candidates for the Rajasabha and Uttar Pradesh State Legislative Council elections, hectic activities were also seen in the ruling Samajwadi Party camp. And the Congress party has faced yet another crisis in the northeast after 6 of its dissident MLAs quit the party and joined the Trinamool Congress. The TMC has now become the main opposition party in the left-ruled state. Tripura is the 4th northeastern state after Arunachal Pradesh, Assam and Meghalaya, where Congress has been hit by dissidents. The 6 rebel Congress MLAs were led by former leader of opposition Sudeep Roy Burman. Burman has also been elected leader of the TMC legislature group in Tripura and is expected to stake claim to the post of leader of the opposition. The rebels say they have quit following the party's decision to partner with the left front in the recently concluded West Bengal elections. An exclusive screening of Abhishek Chaube's controversy-ridden Uttar Punjab has been organised today for eminent filmmaker Shyam Benegal, who heads the government-appointed Censor Board Revamp Committee. The move comes in the wake of the movie producer Anurag Kashyap slamming the board for its apparent issues with the film, which deals with problem of substance abuse in Punjab. Now, the battle between the makers of Uttar Punjab and the Censor Board has taken a turn, But it has been reported that the Central Board of Film Certification has asked them to drop the usage of Punjab word in the film. Meanwhile, movie producer Anurag Kashyap has requested the political parties not to interfere in the issue. He compared the CBFC to dictatorial state in North Korea and said anybody opposing the movie is actually promoting drugs. After Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal, Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi also made a strong pitch for release of the film, noting that the state has a crippling drug problem and censoring the movie would not fix it. Many Bollywood filmmakers like Karan Johar and Mahesh Bhatt have also come out in support of the film, saying that censoring it is not the solution.
We love the film that we have made, right? Abhishek Chaubey has made a great film. We are proud of that film. We want the film to come out intact, and we want to fight for it. But we are rendered kind of important. Prahlad Nilani has not given us an official letter. He has told us his objections to the word Punjab, to the name of the cities, to everything, but he has not made it official.
I tell you, this Uttar Punjab is a creation of people who are anti-Punjab, anti-Sikh. They don't want to see the Punjab growing.
This film is concerned, once I think the RC order will be out, we will know what exactly the presiding officer, who happens to be the chairperson in this particular case, Mr. Nilani himself did the RC, we will know what order has been given.
And 4 days after the busting of the kidney racket in Apollo Hospital in New Delhi, T. Rajkumar Rao, the kingpin, and 3 others have been arrested. The police said 10 doctors are likely to be questioned in connection with the case. Rao, who is believed to be associated with similar rackets in Nepal, Sri Lanka and Indonesia, was arrested in West Bengal. He will now be produced before a court and brought to Delhi later. It's been stated that all 10 doctors in Apollo Hospital's Internal Assessment Committee for Transplant Surgeries will also be questioned. The police have seized computers and other documents from the hospital, and the possibility of more people being involved, including at the hospital, has not been ruled out. The Apollo Hospital also constituted a 3-member inquiry committee to study the existing system for giving approval for transplant of an organ in the hospital. The committee comprises senior doctors working at the hospital, independent doctors, and also a government doctor.
कुछ हमने जो इनिशियल टाउट्स पकड़े थे, तो टाउट्स के बाद हमने 2 इनके जो एम्प्लॉइज़ थे, वन ऑफ द डॉक्टर्स, वो भी हमने पकड़े थे. तो उसके आगे हम मूव कर रहे हैं, जैसे जैसे हम पेपर स्क्रूटनाइज कर रहे हैं और जो फाइल पे एविडेंस आ रहे हैं उनको हम देख रहे हैं.
We'll take a very short break here on Breakfast News. Lots more coming up on the other side.
The sacred relics of Buddha were unearthed in Piprava in Uttar Pradesh. Buddhist monks from all over the world visit the National Museum to pay their respects. These charred bone fragments of Buddha are housed in the gold canopy gifted by the royal family of Thailand.
Thanks for staying with us. Well, the IMD today said that the southwest monsoon is likely to hit Kerala on the 9th of June. Weather officials said monsoon is strengthening over the Arabian Sea and there have been favourable developments in the last 48 hours. Meanwhile, rains lashed many parts of Tamil Nadu over the last 24 hours, accompanied by lightning and thunder. The Weather Office has also predicted more rain and thunderstorms at a few places in South Tamil Nadu and over 1 or 2 places in the northern parts of the state. The Met Department also said that the annual June-September monsoon rains will progress to the other parts of the country after hitting the coast in Kerala.
दक्षिण पश्चिम मानसून जो अरब सागर है, दक्षिणी अरब सागर है, वहां आज पहुंचा है. मालदीव कोमरिन एरिया में आज मानसून पहुंच गया है और बंगाल की खाड़ी के खासकर दक्षिणी बंगाल खाड़ी में भी मानसून बढ़ा है. तो आज मानसून में प्रोग्रेस हुई है और पहली बार मानसून ने अरब सागर में दस्तक दी है. जो कंडीशंस हैं उनका एनालिसिस किया गया है सारा और मौसम विभाग का ये अनुमान है कि केरला में मानसून अगले 48 घंटों में पहुंच जाएगा. हमने 9 जून तक का डेट दिया है.
And even as monsoon showers will hit the southernmost tip of the country in about 2 days, there are areas that are still experiencing drought conditions. One such place is Betul in Madhya Pradesh. Now, to deal with the water crisis in the district, the administration has banned private and public construction work. But post the ban, construction labourers are having a tough time. Here's an exclusive report.
The administration in Betul has ordered a halt on all construction work in the district due to the water crisis. This means for hundreds of workers engaged in the construction field that there won't be food to cook at home.
मानसून आने में विलंब हो रहा है। इसको ध्यान में रखते हुए 25 जून तक सभी प्रकार के निर्माण कार्य, चाहे उसमें शासकीय हो या निजी हो, उनको रोक लगा दी गई है, क्योंकि इनमें जल की भारी मात्रा लगती है और जल निर्माण करने से अधिक पेयजल के लिए संरक्षण ज़्यादा जरूरी है।
According to an estimate, more than 3,000 workers come to Betul in search of work at various construction projects every day. But with the latest administration order, they are finding it difficult to make ends meet.
आप ठेकेदार हो ना यहाँ पर? धारा 144 लगी हुई है काम बंद करने के लिए, पता है ना आपको? पता नहीं।
Residents here blame the municipality's lack of ability in water management.
हम लोगों को इतनी दिक्कत हो रही है 2 महीने से कि इधर उधर से हम लोग पानी ला रहे हैं। बहुत ज़्यादा परेशानी है। टैंकर भी कभी-कभी आते हैं, 2-3 दिन की आड़ में एक बार आते हैं।
अच्छा, नल से आ रहा है पानी?
2 दिन से पानी टैंकर नहीं आया। नल से भी पानी, ये मान के चलो कि मार्च से नल में आना पानी बंद हो गया।
Locals view imposing a ban on water use for construction as the administration's way of providing lip service at a time when wells are running dry. Bureau Report, Rajasabha TV.
And moving on to the international front, Hillary Clinton has cemented her position to secure the Democratic presidential nomination with a win in New Jersey. Americans from New Jersey to California casted ballots on Tuesday in the final major primaries of the 2016 White House race. Delegate count showed Hillary Clinton clinching the Democratic nomination. Her challenger, Bernie Sanders, has so far ignored media reports that she has clinched the magic number of delegates. The self-declared Democratic Socialist is chasing a win in the country's largest state, California, and insisting the nominee will not be chosen until the party convention in July. People voted in New Jersey, Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, and New Mexico. Republicans are also voting in the same states except North Dakota, although the result is meaningless as Donald Trump has already secured the party's nomination. The final Democratic primary is in Washington, D.C. on the 14th of June. And as we told you, Hillary Clinton has already reached the number of delegates needed to clinch the Democratic presidential nomination. This, according to a survey conducted by the Associated Press. However, Clinton's rival Bernie Sanders' camp has criticized the declaration, calling it a rush to judgment. Democrats began voting for California and 5 other states on Tuesday, while the party convention to choose the final candidate will be held in July.
96 years after women won the right to vote in the United States, Hillary Clinton is on the brink of history of becoming the first woman presidential nominee for a major U.S. political party. Associated Press on Monday declared that Clinton has clinched the Democratic nomination after reaching the required number of delegates. According to the AP count, the former Secretary of State has secured 1,812 pledged delegates and 571 superdelegates for a total of 2,383 delegates, the number required for the nomination.
According to the news, we are on the brink of a historic, unprecedented moment. But we still have work to do, don't we? We have 6 elections, and we're going to fight hard for every single vote, especially right here in California.
However, Clinton's rival camp has called the Associated Press declaration a rush to judgment, as superdelegates cannot vote before the party convention in July. Supporters of Bernie Sanders say the timing of the announcement adversely affects his chances of winning a crunch primary in California and 5 other states on Tuesday.
Well, it's going to be very difficult. I'm not here to deny that for a second. But the case we're going to make to the superdelegates is everybody at the Democratic National Convention is going to want to defeat Donald Trump for good reasons. He is a disaster and must not become president of the United States.
After a strong showing in the Puerto Rico Democratic primary, Clinton will look to end whatever little doubt there is for her nomination as Democrats head for polls in 6 states on Tuesday. At a rally in Los Angeles, the former U.S. Senator again took a dig at the presumptive Republican nominee Donald Trump, whom she is likely to have a face-off within the run to the White House.
So whether it's immigrants that he's insulted, Muslims, people with disabilities, POWs, women, federal judges, the list keeps growing longer. And it is wrong of someone running for President of the United States to engage in that kind of hateful rhetoric and demagoguery.
The Democratic Party will hold its convention in Philadelphia in July to formally choose its nominee for the 8th of November presidential election. Bureau Report, Rajasabha TV.
Over to all the sports news now in Sports Beat. Team India's former team director Ravi Shastri has reportedly applied for the post of Team India's head coach. The BCCI has set a deadline for the 10th of June for candidates to apply. The board is likely to announce the name of the new coach before India's tour of the West Indies, which starts from the 21st of July. Sanjay Bangar is the interim coach of the team at present. India finished its campaign with 17 medals, including 7 gold at the 17th Asian Junior Championships in Vietnam. India bagged 7 gold, 4 silver and 6 bronze medals, while Japan topped the table with 14 gold medals, followed by China with 11 golds. India seemed to save their best for the last day when they bagged 7 medals, which included 3 gold, 3 silver and 2 bronze. The International Weightlifting Federation disclosed that they have detected 10 suspect doping cases involving weightlifters from the Beijing Olympics and another 10 cases from London in 2012 while retesting of samples. Weightlifting's ruling body said it had been informed of the findings by the International Olympic Committee, which has unearthed more than 50 new doping cases after reanalysis.
Until you hear that sound.
Angel Di Maria scored in the 51st minute off a pass from Eva Banega, then later assisted on Banega's goal to help top-ranked Argentina beat co-favourites Chile 2-1 in their opening Copa America match on Monday night. Jose Pedro Fuenzalida scored in the 3rd minute of stoppage time as Chile avoided a shutout. Spain's preparations for Euro 2016 suffered a blow as they were beaten 1-0 by Georgia on Tuesday in their final warm-up friendly ahead of the tournament in France. Tourniquet tapped in from close range in the 39th minute to secure a surprise victory for Georgia. Spain, who have won the last 2 European Championships, had not lost since being beaten in a friendly by the Netherlands in March 2015. And that's it from us at the moment. Thanks for watching.